Have you ever wondered how a system designed to divide people by the color of their skin could not only exist but thrive for nearly 50 years? Today, we're journeying back in time to uncover the story of apartheid in South Africa, tale of division, struggle, and ultimate triumph. This isn't just a history lesson. It's a powerful story about the human spirit's fight for freedom and equality. So, grab a seat and let's explore the rise and fall of one of the 20th century's most infamous systems of oppression. To truly understand apartheid, we have to go back further than its official start in 1948. The seeds were sown much earlier, during the colonial era. When Dutch and later British settlers arrived in South Africa, they established a social hierarchy with Europeans at the top. This created deep-seated racial divisions long before apartheid became law. The discovery of diamonds and gold in the late 19th century only made things worse. It led to wars, like the Anglo-Boer Wars, and the implementation of policies designed to control the non-white labor force, laying the groundwork for what was to come. Then, in 1948, everything changed. The right-wing National Party came to power, running on a platform of apartheid, an Afrikaans word meaning apartness. This wasn't just casual racism. It was a systematic, legally enforced framework of racial segregation. The government passed a flurry of laws to cement this division. The Population Registration Act of 1950 classified every single South African into one of four racial categories: white, colored, Indian, or black. This classification determined everything: where you could live, what job you could have, who you could marry, and what level of education you could receive. Life under apartheid was brutal and dehumanizing for the majority of the population. The Group Areas Act forcibly removed non-white people from their homes in white areas, relocating them to segregated townships, often on the outskirts of cities. These townships, like Soweto, were underdeveloped, overcrowded, and lacked basic services. Past laws required black South Africans to carry a passbook at all times, restricting their movement. If they were caught in a white area without a valid pass, they could be arrested immediately. The system was designed to control every aspect of their lives, ensuring a supply of cheap labor while denying them basic human rights and political power. Education was deliberately inferior for black children, designed to prepare them for a life of servitude, not leadership. But oppression always breeds resistance. From the very beginning, people fought back. The primary vehicle for this struggle was the African National Congress, or ANC. Initially, the ANC advocated for non-violent resistance, inspired by leaders like Mahatma Gandhi. They organized protests, boycotts, and civil disobedience campaigns. However, the government's response was consistently violent. A turning point came on March 21, 1960, in the township of Sharpeville. During a peaceful protest against the pass laws, police opened fire on the crowd, killing 69 people. The Sharpeville massacre sent shockwaves around the world and within South Africa. After Sharpeville, the government banned the ANC and other anti-apartheid organizations. This forced the resistance to go underground and reconsider its tactics. The ANC formed a military wing, Umkhonto we Sizwe, or Spear of the Nation. One of its key leaders was a young, charismatic lawyer named Nelson Mandela. Mandela and other activists began a campaign of sabotage, targeting government infrastructure but trying to avoid civilian casualties. In 1962, Mandela was arrested. During the famous Rivonia trial, he and his comrades were charged with sabotage and conspiracy to overthrow the state. In his powerful speech from the dock, Mandela declared he was prepared to die for the ideal of a democratic and free society. He was sentenced to life in prison, and for the next 27 years, he would become the world's most famous political prisoner, a global symbol of the fight against apartheid. While Mandela was imprisoned on Robben Island, the struggle continued. The 1970s saw the rise of the Black consciousness movement. Led by the inspirational Steve Biko, Biko's message was one of psychological liberation and encouraging Black South Africans to reclaim their pride, identity, and self-worth in the face of a system designed to crush their spirit. His ideas resonated deeply, especially with the youth. This culminated in the Soweto Uprising of 1976. Thousands of students took to the streets to protest a new law requiring Afrikaans to be used in their schools. The police responded with brutal force, and hundreds of young people were killed. The images of children being shot shocked the world and re-energized the international anti-apartheid movement. Tragically, Steve Biko himself was arrested in 1977 and died in police custody from severe injuries, becoming another martyr for the cause. The Soweto Uprising and Biko's death brought unprecedented international attention to the horrors of apartheid. The world could no longer look away. Countries and international bodies began to impose sanctions on South Africa. These sanctions started with arms embargoes and grew to include economic and cultural boycotts. Artists refused to perform there. Sports teams were banned from international competitions like the Olympics, and multinational corporations began to pull their investments out of the country. This external pressure, combined with the relentless internal resistance, began to squeeze the apartheid regime. The economy faltered, and the country became increasingly isolated on the world stage. By the late 1980s, the apartheid government was facing a crisis it could no longer contain. The townships were in a state of constant unrest. The economy was in decline, and international condemnation was at an all-time high. It was clear the system was unsustainable. In 1989, a new president, F.W. de Klerk, came to power. Recognizing the inevitable, he began to dismantle the pillars of apartheid. In a historic speech on February 2, 1990, de Klerk announced that he was unbanning the ANC and other political organizations. And then came the moment the world had been waiting for. On February 11, 1990, Nelson Mandela, after 27 long years in prison, walked free. Mandela's release marked the beginning of the end. What followed was a complex and tense period of negotiations between the National Party, the ANC, and other political groups. The goal was to chart a path to a new, democratic South Africa. It wasn't easy. There were moments when the country teetered on the brink of civil war, but the leadership of Mandela and de Klerk, who would later share the Nobel Peace Prize, managed to steer the nation towards a peaceful transition. Finally, on April 27, 1994, South Africa held its first ever democratic election. For the first time in their lives, millions of South Africans of all races could vote. Long lines snaked around polling stations as people waited patiently for their chance to shape their country's future. The ANC won a landslide victory, and Nelson Mandela became the first president of a free and democratic South Africa. The story of apartheid is a dark chapter in human history, but it is also an incredible testament to resilience, courage, and the unwavering belief in justice. It shows us that even the most entrenched systems of oppression can be overcome through sustained struggle and international solidarity. The journey to build a truly equal rainbow nation, as Archbishop Desmond Tutu called it, is ongoing, but the victory of 1994 remains one of the most inspiring political transformations of our time. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as powerful as I did, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. Let's make sure these important histories are never forgotten. See you in the next one.